honestly, I know it's not a thing. I know it's not going to happen, but just lock Seraphine, give it to Ruler. No one will be ready for it. Right? Just like, yes, you are literally a world champion AD carry. That's fine. Here, have Seraphine, you know? Spam some heals. Press R. But this is not surprising. They're going to give Aphelios back to Ruler. And it is, again, this is greedy, right? Like, picking Aphelios into a Rakan, generally not going to be a fan. Rel kind of alleviates the issue, but she's not the type of support that can stop Rakan reliably from getting on top of you, right? It's more about any follow-up that might follow that life can definitely dissuade. But after seeing that last game, I feel like I can talk about how in a general situation this will not be optimal, but it's Ruler and he's playing Aphelios again, and after, like, we just saw him like demolish, right? Like, he flashed over walls, he got solo kills on the turrets. You just kind of have to reevaluate what Gen.G is doing in light of that. I'm glad they banned away the Syndra though, and it's definitely going to be Nazir ban, right? Like, no way that's not banned.
I would imagine so. But then again, they just go ahead and pick up Seraphine. So,
that is definitely true.
We'll see if either mid laner wants to go for it. The Nocturne ban is interesting for sure.
I'm wondering what that signals. Maybe they want to go for a Galio or something of the sorts here. Like, go blind pick Galio and then... Because, like, I don't really... Or you want to go for another, like, side laning strat, because Nocturne... Not really... Oh, never mind. Of course, it's for Bay. We're talking mid-Nocturne here. Yeah. Even then, wondering... Because we have Nidalee. I don't know what I was on about. Log the Seraphine. Come on, BDD. You know you wanted.
Oh,
okay,
what?
this...
Okay, well...
No.
It's good with
they have... Yeah, exactly, right? Like, they have Udyr. And now you actually have some insane wombo combos.
Yeah.
Khalid can roam in with Chem Tank and with the speed up from Ori. Have a Attract Repel on top of him, right? Like... This is fine. I respect this from Gen.G. You give counter pick over to Rascal, who's going to stomp lane. This is looking a lot better than last draft from Gen.G, and we all remember how that one went. So
for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I really like the draft for sure. I was just disappointed because it wasn't something new. I'm spoiled because we've had top Fizz in this day.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, absolutely a great pick here for BDD. And the response will be the Victor for Bay. So we know our mid lane matchup, and then the safe blind pick of Gnar as a response for Rich.
But it's Rich, right? And Gnar comes with a little bit of a guide. I do think Gnar Rakan is really good, because one of the problems that you have with Gnar is that you are very gated in when you are like your strongest in team fights. He's gonna get a counter pick.
Why is he laughing so much?
Wait. It's gonna be then, I guess, Pantheon. Okay, so Pantheon Udyr is similar to what we saw earlier, right? Like the Fizz Pantheon, in that Gnar does not like. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. But if you weather the early game, you should be fine. I think that Rascal, if Rich paces optimally, should have kind of a hard time in this lane. But it's Rich and it's Rascal. So that equation kind of gets turned on its head, because Rich's main weakness has been the laning phase. I like this Rakan in terms of, or sorry, the Gnar, where it fits in like the theme of the entire team, but I'm not loving it from Nongshim here. And considering last game, I feel like Gen.G is just going to run away with this one as well.
It certainly feels like that. And this draft is definitely way different to what we saw in terms of difference in the game one. I feel like Gen.G kind of move ahead with this one. And they just have so much wombo combo. They have fantastic engage and so many great pieces behind it, right? They're going to have the Udyr Orianna combo, the Orianna Rel combo. You know, there's so much going on. Even Orianna with Pantheon is great. And again, it's Gen.G up against Nongshim. And if it's anything like game number one, I think this might even... I wouldn't say it's going to be more one-sided than game one, but we might see a repeat performance, perhaps, coming into game number two.
It very well might be. And, you know, Nongshim's comp has things. Peanut has an amazing Nidalee. We've already seen that. There are things like the Rakan and the Nod that can have a lot of impact. You have good poke with Victor and Italy. But I'm doubtful. Please convince me, Nongshim. Otherwise, we're having a very early night tonight with a very quick 2-0. If the first game or the second game is anything like the first one.
Yeah, I mean, if this turns into another like 20 to 25 minute game, it's probably going to be the quickest day that we've had of the LCK so far. I know it's only what is it, week 4, and you know, we're sailing quite along. Of course, guys, while we do have this downtime, next week there will be a week off. We do have the Lunar New Year that is coming in, so LCK takes a week off, and then we will return back the next week. So you'll have to get your LCK fix elsewhere, but good to let everybody know that that is going on.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. You know, I tried to make room in the schedule to be before week 4, but you know, I was busy with there's so much stuff that you can do right now everywhere, right? Like, I was just living it up.
Yeah.
Totally not just sitting at home waiting to be able to leave for like a month and a half. Good times, good times.
Yeah, you and pretty much everybody else.
Yep.
I think I spent most of December and January literally just playing games in my house. Like, there wasn't really much going on, especially because cases spiked in Korea. So I was just like, nope, you know, just gonna take it easy.
Nope.
Sit back. And next week might just be more of the same, especially for you because you'll still be in quarantine, but...
Haha, no LCK anymore.
Yeah.
Still quarantined, but it's okay. You know, we've had some fun. We've played some games. Rich does not get to play video games though. He is took a level 1 trade with a Pantheon with Time Warp Tonic and a Corrupting Pot, and yeah, it did not go well.
Yeah, we see the result of it so far. It's 10-0. No CS just yet for the Gnar, and it's just that Peanut has played a lot of Nidalee, right? He gets his Nidalee back. We'll see if maybe this can help out Nongshim. Maybe he can be the carry this time around. But I'd be curious to see how much pressure he's considering putting up in the top lane, or how much he would like to help his top laner.
Yeah, the problem is that because of his full lane control, Rascal already got the crash, so now he can just go in here, get vision. He will not spot. He can just kill him here.
Peanut? Sir, this is not your jungle. Please leave.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
now.
You know, we haven't seen that much lane Pantheon anymore, but I'm glad that Rascal is showing us what the power of the pick is. Because now Klid is going to be a happy Udyr running towards his next buff, or his next scuttle. And this is something that we haven't seen Udyr do in a while. This is why you pick Udyr, right? Like, get that early pressure, find that early lead, and snowball into early objectives. And Gen.G, they're delivering.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a really nice big wave up in the top side for Rich, and he does hit Mega Gnar, so this is going to look pretty good, at least for now. But, of course, Rascal will pull ahead as the lane does come in. Needs to see us a little bit better, but he's also
that
got...
was sad.
He's got 2 biscuits. Yeah, that was pathetic attempt at taking that CS, but, you know, it is what it is. But he'll be able to pick up the majority of that CS at the end of the day and continue his dominance in that lane. He's got a couple of biscuits to help out. And here he is again. Rich is still taking trades, looking for this one. As, oh, Rascal misses the Q. And this might be the first blood coming in if he goes for the flash. He misses the boomerang. And that is not going to be Rascal going down.
No. It would have been so good. And there you see, it is a very volatile matchup, and that's where the Gnar is at his strongest. Once his opponent is done trading, it can look very lopsided, but then the opponent has to actually, you know, get away. And that's why Gnar is like, yes, thank you very much. I will take my grass procs and my continuous pressure. But Rascal gets away with his life, because otherwise that matchup becomes a lot more unbearable for the Pantheon. Now he should still be fine. And the main thing about this Pantheon pick is the pressure it provides for Klid here in this early game, because Klid's having a great Udyr game so far.
He's having a grand old time. He's got the most CS in the game. He's literally just taking camps off cooldown here. and took both scuttles, as we mentioned before. Rascal, he's going to be annoying. He's going to stop the back. That's going to help him out, keep him in a better spot. We got a bit of an engage down on the bottom side. Ruler just standing up to Dukdom and Kellen. Doesn't seem to be bothered by that engage that does come in. Gets hit by a W from the Kaisa, which evens it up a little bit, but they will continue to put on pressure in that bottom lane.
While that was happening, we didn't see it, but there was a ward or a trap, I'm not entirely sure, in that top side brush above Krugs. And there was an invade that was set up from Peanut, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if it was Rich or Bay. And it did find Clid, but Clid was just like, okay, I guess you will take my Krugs, that's fine, I will peace out. And then got away. Now the Grand Starfall is available, meaning that Rascal has a lot more pressure if they do want to go for objectives, but at this point you don't really need to, right? You can just play it slow, shove out the wave, and then look for maybe a punish on Bay, or the Rift Herald when it will spawn. Rascal needs to be careful though.
Well, the spear is going to be off, and you see that Peanut is sticking around as much as possible, waiting for that Mega Gnar, and they will be able to convert. There it is. We got a dive in the bottom side though, from the side of Gen.G. Fantastic disengage though, from Dukdom and Kellen, who do get out of there. But Ruler and Life will be able to reap some of those benefits from the turret plays at least.
In a normal situation, you feel pretty good about this as Nongshim, but this is a Ruler with Crescendum, meaning that you're gonna absolutely shred through this turret if they can get on top of it. Good zoning though. Dukdom didn't have to use any of his summoners there, so just his presence is enough threat that it's not a lot that you can really get here. On the subsequent wave though, I feel like they still need to respect the possibility of an Udyr divers. Let's do that. He's just standing there, look menacingly, and then peace out again, and secure yourself in a scuttle. And that dive attempt, I don't dislike it because Peanut is obviously on the top side of the map, but I think I would have preferred if Clid just picked up the Drake there. Because it feels like trading a possible kill, right, and a possible play for guaranteed pressure and guaranteed Drake, not really what you're looking for.
Yeah, so here's this play up on the top side, and at first it doesn't look like much, but then you see the Gnar bar and you're like, oh, this could actually turn into something big. Great stun up against the wall, lands the wall up as well. And Rich takes about 3 turret shots, but it doesn't matter because they got the job done. A nice conversion up in the top side will take away some of the pressure that Rascal was putting on. The lane's still in favor of Rascal in terms of CS, so he's got that going for him.
I'm not entirely sure if Rascal would have gotten hit by the spear there had he not slowed down. It's a hard call to make, right? But in that situation, you would be able to keep your E, and then all of a sudden, that play looks different. Rascal's CSing has just been so good, even with this pressure from Peanut here. And with this wave shoving in, he's going to be like a solid 4 waves ahead, or sorry, 3 waves ahead of Rich. And that's not where you want to be, right? Like as Gnar, if Pantheon hits his spikes early, it can be super, super fun and interactive to trade with. So I'm liking that Peanut keeps putting the pressure up here. Do feel like they should have prio on this Drake on top side, especially since there's no Gnar bar, but BDD laid it to the back then Bay, so first need to get prio there. First roam is here. Possible 2v2, 3v2 in the mid lane, or in the top lane rather.
You can see a lot of focus with this Rift Herald spawned, of course. Cannon collected by Rascal. So we've seen a lot of players miss those cannons. Rascal doesn't miss, apparently. We got life on the first roam up to the top side, so that bot prio, I suppose, potentially helping out here when it does come to the Rift Herald. And now it does look like Gen.G wants to collapse. They'll be able to push Peanut out of here and at least make Shelly leash. And that is a win in that sense, at least.
And that's the sacrifice that you make, right? Peanut pays so much attention to Rich, but that does mean that Dukdom is officially second. Oh, okay. They, what's the flash? That is the shockwave gone though, but I don't know about this one, right? Like you're leaving Dukdom alone on an island, and Ruler is very happy with that turn of events.
Yeah. Ruler's just getting free farm in the bottom side. And the longer this goes on, you know, he goes back, he picks up an item, now he can join. So they're not even going to wait that long. The engage comes in, Clid flashes forward and gets stunned up, but it does not matter. They do not have the damage, and that Grand Skyfall comes in from Rascal, and they pick up 2 kills. Gen.G with another massive lead here in game number 2.
And it's starting to look like game number 1. You've spent so much resources trying to make it work on the top side of the map. But then it doesn't work out. Maybe a retake here, because they are kind of low. Use a lot of ultimates.
Well, looks like Gen.G are very aggressively looking to push them away.
Yeah, never mind, Ruler was there. It's over.
They're actually still going. The spear is going to miss. That is so unfortunate. The Void Seeker does land, but it doesn't matter because he's going to survive anyway, and Kai'Sa's not going to go that deep. So we get another kill and the Rift Herald, and Gen.G are now almost 3,000 gold ahead at 11 minutes into the game.
So I said it is over. Nongshim Redforce decided it was not over, but it really should have been. Trying to kind of make use of the Nalbar there, but this desperation is not really doing them any favors. And I feel like after that first game, it does make a lot of sense, right? Like these players just had like what, like a 10-minute break where after a game where they got absolutely demolished, right? Like they could do nothing in the game. It was one of, if not the most one-sided game we've seen in the LCK thus far.
Oh, he's dead.
There's a problem.
No flash here. There's enough damage. You just avoid the stun. And there's no getting out of that, right? Faye just can't be in that position. You can't be near the Orianna, but BDD is just a little bit too sneaky.
I mean, Life and Kellen, neither of them have damage, right? And they're just having fun together. Kellen trying to get the ward. Life's like, no, you cannot take my ward.
Enjoying each other's company.
Right?
Just hanging out.
I appreciate that.
Something that you and I and the rest of us will not be able to do for a while, unfortunately.
Way to rub it in.
No, I'm unhappy with it too.
True. Yeah, I know. It would be so cool, but you know, we appreciate good safety, so it's fine. But yeah, it is kind of weird, right? Because none of us have actually... I mean, you guys have met. You're all fine. But we haven't met yet. Interesting.
Well, it'll happen soon. We're getting the big zoom in onto Clid. He already has his chem tank. And he is level 9, which is the same as a lot of laners, but also ahead of Bay and Peanut. So, really just... this is the Udyr... what do you call it? The scaling.
Yeah, it's like the spike is hit, the pinnacle, and this is really nice. I feel like they were also playing around Ruler, because I didn't point it out earlier, but Ruler roamed up the top for the Rift Herald, right? I think if you would have had Crescendo there, you just stay in the wave, because you can do this. Aphelios does not care about your turrets. Your turret play to your bulwark when he has the right weapons, and that just, I'm starting to feel like this game is going to go the way of game number 1. It might not look as out of control yet, but I think we're going to hit that point very fast, because once these first items comes through, it's going to be a problem as Rascal gets taken down.
You do have the TP coming in. No shield available for Rascal. They're looking to turn it around, and Peanut will have to flash away. But here comes Bay, looking to turn it around 2v3, but that's the first kill onto Peanut, and they don't seem to have the damage to go underneath that turret, and BDD is still moving forward. Not to mention that everybody on the side of Gen.G is also here, so really getting out of position and absolutely dunked as he was getting pretty desperate for that kill. And, man, we already have a 5,500 gold lead here at 13 minutes. I feel like today, maybe one of the most straightforward days of League of Legends we've had in a while.
You know what's interesting? Like, when we came into this week, we kind of expected the entire week to be like this. Then we got served 6 games on both Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. This game, or this evening, not so much. Goodbye. Laters. Rascal just pieces out. And Ruler shows why Aphelios is, again, not afraid of turrets when he has the right weapons, and it's just objectives left and right falling, and we're getting to the point where analysis is kind of moot, because I think that everyone that looks at this game can see Gen.G is very fed, all their players are working out well, and Nongshim are increasingly desperate, and they need to be desperate, but desperate probably also isn't going to save them.
Yeah, you know, I think Rascal actually could have 1v2'd them. Duckdown didn't have any mana and no flash, and there was no Chaos Storm for Victor. I feel like he could have, with the Gore Drinker, just killed both of them.
Just have some fun. Just go for it.
Yeah,
right?
You know, I feel like you should just limit test there, you know? You might as well.
I agree. I agree, you know? Do what Damon did earlier tonight. Have some fun. Yeah. It's just... I think this is still fine, right? The Rascal plays this really, really well. And Peanut has not gotten fed, right? Rich has not had a great lane so far, so they really lack the damage that you need to burst these targets down. And then, this is already terrible. Bay comes in from kind of an awkward angle, but then the... I want to say confidence here from BDD and Rascal to stay in this way. And then Rich, you don't see this, but he walks into unwarded jungle without a rage bar into life that just straight up kills him. And it's just... it's not good. We don't like to see it.
No, it's not a great feeling.
Oh, no.
Ruler's the same level as Bay, by the way. BDD going a little bit too far forward, and he will actually die. Gets shot down before the ultimate does land, so maybe getting a bit overconfident. Had very little vision deep in the enemy jungle, and didn't even know they were there. So easy kill for the side of Nongshim at least.
Klid, he wants to go. I don't know if they know Peanut is there. I don't think they do.
Oh, they know
now they do. Uh-oh. Oh no,
Oh,
Peanut,
no.
you are hidden. You were safe. No.
He got rooted too. He's gonna try to jump the wall again. Like, okay. No,
We've
he's
seen-
not even. Okay. Let me pad my damage stats as I die. Might as well.
Oh,
much you could do there.
Yeah, this... oh, life. Oh, he's gonna get on top of it.
Oh.
No.
We have Rascal here too. Just bullying them as much as possible. Really getting in there in the thick of things. And Rich just gives him the thumbs up. What else can he do? Well, apparently he can try to kill BDD. We'll see how that one goes, as he will not have the damage. There he goes. Flash comes in. Gore Drinker to the face. And just barely, he will take down BDD.
BDD falling into the classic trap of, you know, my team is fat, so I can be wherever I want.
Oh,
Yeah, that's...
doesn't kill him.
I'm pretty sure he's still gonna die. Oh, why are we zooming in on
the full
this?
zoom. Yeah.
That's just mean.
With the thumbs up as well. The observer, you know, he knows the game is over. He's just having a bit of fun too.
And, you know, he should. I think at the LCK, like, our observers are literally world class, and they're generally kind of in the background, and now they finally get to have fun. You know, we see crazy Udyr skins, we see Fizzes, we see Gentle and Nars get taken down. They're allowed to have some fun too.
Yeah. Well, BDD is the one player that hasn't been having fun, actually, because he gets ganked here, and then he gets killed 1v1 under the turret up on the top side. I suppose Peanut is also not having too much fun, so we'll add him to the list. Not really much to mention here. They just kill him.
I mean, BDD, I assume there was a team call that, like, a Pantheon was available, because, like, he's greeting there for a kill. I mean, disengage from life is just
Beautiful.
so well done. Yeah, it's just so well coordinated. As in the bottom left, we see it be a take. And BDD just runs from depth to depth. That's always a bit of a tilter.
Yeah, this is that game of solo queue where your team is destroying, and then you're the one guy that gets caught out like 1v3 twice in a row. And then your team just scoops up all the kills, and you're like, man, this feels bad. I know we were winning, but I guess I'm not winning anymore. And if you're Nongshim, you can't step up to this. You have to give this away. It's almost 8,000 gold difference at this point in time. And Life is just looking for it. He's like hunting through the enemy jungle for anyone that he can see.
It's just a series. Oh, come on. Guys, let them have their jump. It's just a series of unfortunate events. And like game one, Nongshim just don't see. Oh, Ruler.
Okay, they're going to get Ruler. And Gen.G maybe having a little bit too much fun. I don't know if it's going to matter, though, because here they come. As we talked about all those moving parts alongside of the Orianna ultimate. TP does come in, so they will respect Rich, but here comes the turnaround. Looking for the perfect shockwave, I suppose. It hasn't come out just yet. And Rich still on the chase here, but not going to actually commit with the Mega Gnar, even 5v4. They have to play it safe.
How good are our observers, right? Like, pointing out that Nongshim can't follow because BDD's ball is just standing there. The fact that Gen.G, like, kind of goes for that is not something that you do in a normal game state, right? Like, you're funneling in there, against a team that is very ready to capitalize on you. And I feel like this is the point where Gen.G say, okay guys, enough fun. We're going to stop face checking brushes. Because this is, again, just a straight up face check, right? Like, they don't have vision here. Not a lot more to say about that. You have no business being there, especially as ruler. And this is something, right? Like, gotta give Nongshim credit where credit is due. It's the only way you win this game. It's by doing stuff like this. So keep doing that.
Sit in a brush. Hope your opponent makes a mistake. I like it.
I mean, do you have an alternative plan? Because I'm looking at this.
No, I do not.
You know, like, even with this gold deficit, and we always go to these scenarios, because, like, they can still happen. If Gen.G funnel again into a choke point after kind of an awkward fight, and they get hit by any combination of Chaos Storm, damage from Bay in general, a wall stun from Na, combined with a Grand Entrance, sure, you know? It's possible. But Gen.G knows that as well, so they should not do that. And then they'll be just fine, because this is 7k gold at 20 minutes.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Domlin versus the Sandbox earlier on today, game 2, where it was a bit of the same. They got really far ahead, and then it was like, oh, we got caught a couple of times. Now let's play serious. Now let's not make any mistakes. And it does feel like Gen.G have kind of locked things down and decided we are not going to throw this game. They're not face checking anymore, at least. That's a good start. And they've got a decent spread here, you know. BDD down in the bottom side. He will have to be careful. Again, there's not much vision, but he's got his team barreling into the enemy jungle, so that will give him a little bit more space, of course.
Yeah, you love to see it, right? Just choke out the vision, take complete control of the jungle, because when you actually move as a unit, there's nothing that Nongshim can do. They cannot check you or do anything to you whatsoever. Yes, Kellen. Ah, he gets spotted. I was like, wait in the brush. Have Dog Dumb ready. Go for that Grand Entrance. Please. Because on the bottom half of the map, there's nothing for you to do. There's one control ward that has not been spotted yet, but once that is gone, there is no vision whatsoever. And Gen.G, they're just gonna smoothly guide this Rift Herald deeper and deeper towards the enemy. Get a charge, get the backs in, you know. There's no vision, so Nongshim can't even clear. I also wouldn't mind if Gen.G just does what Nongshim did earlier, just sit here and wait. Because I don't think even you don't need the back, right? Like, you're already 2 items up. Who cares?
Oh, here we go. That Grand Entrance we were talking about, looking for the engage. And, well, exactly 0 damage was done. So, nice little try, but that wasn't it, unfortunately. Not able to catch anyone or do any damage, really, at all, as the follow-up just wasn't there after the recon. So, Ocean Drake should pretty easily go into the hands of Gen.G.
Desperation makes even, you know, the most forced plays look very appetizing. It's kind of what happens with Callan there. He sees an opportunity, he has the flash, he has the ultimate, but as you say, there's no follow-up whatsoever. And it just ends with that. Not really anything. It's like if Ruler gets caught, then you can move up as Nongshim, right? Like, he's the one you need. BDD is also a big threat, but not as much as this Aphelios, for reasons I should not have to explain to anyone that has seen Aphelios or Ruler in 2020.
Or League of Legends.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, just watched, or like maybe you read it about it on like the back of something, like
on
something
the back
about
of the cereal box.
I was gonna say that, but then I was like, why? That doesn't make any sense. But then I went with the like on the back off. But what else would you have? Milk cartons, books?
Yeah. That's kind of what I originally thought you were talking about, like the League of Legends book or something. Like,
actually.
Okay.
Can I take this back? So in the Netherlands, we have like we love chocolate sprinkles. We call it hagelslag. We always have it on our, hagelslag.
Oh yes.
Sure I can. Yeah, of course. Now you know it. Now you know the word.
I got it. I'm not gonna repeat it, but I got
that's
it.
Fine. That's fine. And that's actually also one of the things that always had stuff on the back of it, right? You had like you were like a little kid, and you sat at your breakfast table. And then you'd put it on your bread, and you'd read the back.
Chocolate.
And that's, sorry?
You put chocolate sprinkles on your bread?
Yes.
How does that even work? Doesn't it fall off?
No, because you use butter as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, very common.
That doesn't sound very appetizing, but I'll trust you. Maybe you can.
I mean, it's chocolate and butter, right? Like, I don't. It's definitely not healthy.
Yeah, I don't.
It is very good.
Yeah, I guess it's impossible to taste bad. I just never even considered that combination before. Pretty interesting culture lesson, but Rich trying to teach BDD a thing or two about Gnar, and in fact, he is pretty tanky. So here we go. Clid trying to lead the charge. They are in a bit of a choke, and Light over the wall will be looking for the follow-up engage. We'll see if he can get it. Rich is unbelievably tanky, actually, right now. So that is one thing that I suppose Nongshim do have going for them. A lot of damage done to the side of Gen.G, and the disengage was actually pretty nice from the side of Nongshim.
So this is really nice from Nongshim. I love the idea of this, of trying to make a big play into the backline, but BDD flashing that Gnar ult means that, yes, Gen.G can't engage on Nongshim, but I don't think Nongshim can do this either, right? BDD's teleporting back, and this might very well be the last fight of the game.
They still have a lot of ultimates. You know, they don't have Grand Skyfall, but they have everything else, and we talked about the Wombo combo. You've really got to respect that, especially when you're behind. So I like how Nongshim, they think about it, you know, they're like, maybe they just won't check. Well, Gen.G right there to stop them. And now they have first path here to the mid lane, and they will be able to zone out Nongshim for just a bit.
And it's just not anything that you can do here as Nongshim, which is why I like the flank so much, because straight up engaging, unless Gen.G are already in a funnel position, is not gonna really work. Peanut, please don't get baited.
He's just stopping the patch. He's so annoying. Oh man, they're still chasing him down here. I don't think that Nongshim have any delusions of, you know, actually picking anyone off and getting a kill or anything. But if you stop their backs when they really want to back, maybe you can get some more jungle camps, maybe you can steal away a blue. You know, bit by bit here, if you're Nongshim.
You gotta take it slow.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta just look one objective ahead. That's all you can really do.
One gromp at a time.
That's how you win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Which, you know, still is not incredibly likely, but can you hear somewhere? I can hear Atlas shouting out in pain as yet another cannon gets missed.
Victor has one of the, I guess as you get items, your Q begins to do a little bit more damage, and maybe you can chunk it a little bit too fast. But like, Victor is one of those champs that he should be able to take the cannons pretty reliably. Rich has snuck into a brush. He is currently hide on bush, and now he is not. But he was looking for maybe the play around this dragon that is spawning very soon.
This will be the soul. Cannot give this up. Team fights are already not great. Once this soul comes through, it's going to become pretty much unmanageable. Rich has had a really nice position there, but now his Narbar is going to activate. And as long as Gen.G played it slow, they don't have anything to be afraid of. Then Rich look again.
Here's the engage. They're going to find that backline, and they're looking to kill Ruler. He goes down immediately. Keep in mind, they have a Kai'Sa in their lineup. Gen.G doesn't seem too bothered by this. They still want to get on top of Rich, and there is no help from the side of Nongshim. They said, we wanted one pick, and we wanted out. We are not going to follow you in there, Rich, unfortunately. And trying to get in there once again is Life, but another kill over to the side of Duckdom. Feels like he's slowly picking off kill by kill, but at the same time, Gen.G still will be able to take this fight for now, as they have the higher health bars.
And that's the unfortunate state of this game, is that Nongshim can find what feels like they're one out and still not be able to actually get anything done, right? Like, you get on top of Ruler, you blow his summoners, and you blow him up in the subsequent play. But even then, you're still so far behind that it doesn't change anything. I don't love that they move forward here, because you know Rich is there, you know he just went Mega Knight, and if you wait it out, you're always fine. Ruler, never allowed to be here, flashes, but doesn't change anything whatsoever. But the rest of Gen.G is so tanky here that there is no damage available. Duckdom and Bay also immediately zoned out of this fight, and with them not there, there's no damage, right? Like, Peanut barely does anything. Kalin and Rich are definitely not doing anything. And then once BDD joins the fray, Rascal's damage get even further augmented. And it just ends up still being a win here for Gen.G, despite the absolute abhorrent start to that fight.
Yeah. If you're Gen.G, I mean, this should have been cleaner, probably. Shout out to Nongshim for making these plays possible, right? I like how they're
Oh yeah.
they're playing pretty well from as far behind as they are, right? We were making jokes about before how they're really going to have to rely on mistakes from Gen.G, but, you know, there have been some mistakes in positioning, in face checking, and now all of a sudden Duckdom is 4-1 with 314 CS, and yes, there is a big gold lead. Yes, Gen.G have the Ocean Soul. They're still probably going to win this, but you didn't have to give Nongshim chances in this game, you know, like, you didn't have to give them a Fed Kaisa, so I like what Duckdom has been able to do and slowly, you know, come back into this game, at least individually.
Absolutely, and this is something that you got to give Nongshim credit for, because it's easy to like, haha, we just wait in the brush and that's it, right? Because that was also what Rich did there. But there is very clearly a plan behind what they're trying to do. It's just too little and too late here.
Will Duckdom do it? Nope. It looks like the answer is no. They're going to give that one away, and they say, we are playing for the extreme late game. Although Rich does have a high Narbar here. Thinking about that engage, but a nice disengage from the side of Gen.G. Good concave means that it will be difficult to engage onto them. Rich will have to flash away. As Clid, extremely fast, he's got his chem tank, and now he's super slow, and also gets stunned down and immediately chunked out. The rest of Nongshim not in the mid lane, and with the Baron buff, Gen.G should easily be able to take down this inhibitor at least.
I'm going to go on a limp and say that they can just end the game here. I don't know, without the knock, you have enough threat here. And Gen.G, it's not as good as game one, but they're still looking great here.
All right, well, Bay is just left out to pasture. He actually survives for quite a long time. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. That was pretty surprising, but it still is going to be the win here for Gen.G, as Peanut will also be zoned away. Gen.G kind of playing with their food here. Clid probably calling for them not to end the game, but Duckdom having a little bit of fun himself. He's just gonna Killer Instinct back into the fountain. And wow, they're really just not gonna kill the Nexus, are they?
Oh, guys.
He's TPing back to his own base. That is pretty BM, but they get the win in the end anyway. As Gen